Alrighty, so this is going to be the most important video of the year. It is only January, February, March, April, the fourth month of the year. It's towards the end of the fourth month of the year, so obviously the quarter has ellipsed. But this is going to be the most important video of the year because this is what happens in personal development. You have an aha moment where you're like, oh, okay, this is what they meant, and this is the thing, is that I'm completely going against all of my rituals and all of my routines to produce this video. And it's not because it's not like, oh, I want to make sure that it's monetized, or I want to make sure that whatever the case is, right now, it's just so fresh. So as you guys know, I started the triathlon training. What you guys don't know is that during that triathlon training period, I was emotionally bankrupt, okay? When you wake up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. and you're training, this is what I thought, okay? It's kind of like Neo. There's a point in the Matrix when Neo was the main guy, whatever his name is, that gave up his seat in the New York City subway and that video went viral. It's like, dude, everyone gives up their seat in New York City subway. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so he just went through the whole transformation, okay? And he's sitting there and Morpheus is above him and he's resting, and then he opens his eyes and Morpheus is right above and he goes, how do you feel? And Neo goes, my eyes hurt. And Morpheus responds, he goes, because it's the first time you're seeing. In other words, you're behind these blinders, this matrix that was in front of you, that was produced by people that are smarter, wealthier, maybe your boss, your manager. However, there's also the smaller one, which is, this is who I am, and I'm not going to be able to change, okay? Obviously, Carol Dweck has talked about this, and she's essentially the one that put it at the growth mindset as opposed to the fixed mindset. That's basic stuff, okay? To unlock yourself from the growth in the fixed mindset is really hard per area, okay? You could have a growth mindset in your business, but you have a fixed mindset in your relationship. I just figured it out as I was talking right now because I'm piecing this all together. So my fixed mindset said, if I'm waking up at 4:30 or 5 a.m., or sometimes earlier, 4 a.m. on weekends to go ride for 4 hours, okay? I had a fixed mindset. I had a mindset that this sucks, that it's too early, and I just want to get it done, okay? And then for 3 months, almost 2.5 months, 3 months of training, I texted my coach this week and I said, do people just not have fun? Do they just not have a social life if they're a triathlete? And then Brian Johnson, who, if you don't know, go to optimize.me, unbelievable human. Optimize is his YouTube channel, go check him out. And he kept on saying love 2.0. So it's those micro interactions with people that you would maybe not have a micro connection with. Okay, it's not just opening the door and saying you're welcome or thank you. It's not just saying God bless you. It's not just these minor things that we say throughout, but an actual present interaction that's just a little bit above what you would normally talk about. Instead of saying, how's the weather or how are you doing? Today, I'll give you an example. This woman to my right, she was paying in cash. And as a love 2.0, I said, wow. I'm like, cash, what is that? As a joke. Kind of like how I'm saying it right now. And she was cute. She was older, like 50s older, but she was definitely in shape and everything else. And, she's paying and she's like, yeah, nobody really does it like this anymore. I'm old school, blah, blah, blah. That's a love 2.0. Because we carried that interaction to waiting for our coffee. Okay, yesterday, this guy was wearing a getup. I already talked about it in yesterday's video. I'm going to get to the crux of this video. So yesterday I saw this guy, he had a Brooks hat on. Brooks is a running company, and then he had like a Hoboken Running Club shirt on. And I'm like, oh, are you an ultra marathon? That getup is for it. We had a 10-minute, here's his actual card right here. So he's a physical therapist, Jim, I'm not gonna say his last name, but he goes, hit me up. He goes, you're gonna need this before your season and after your season, during your season, so you don't get injured. And we had and the reason I'm saying Love 2.0 is because I don't even know if I did I do? I think I did the Love 2.0. I don't even know if I did the whatever, doesn't matter, a book review on it. But essentially, that first paragraph was everything. That first paragraph was everything in Love 2.0, okay? And it said, are you missing something? Is there something in your life that's just a little bit void? Do you feel that you just aren't all there all the time? And obviously I'm paraphrasing and I'm gonna do a book review if I haven't. And I said, that's me. That was me earlier this year. That was me right now. And I had a fixed mindset that training sucks. My coach, when I texted her, I said, what about social life? You know, I said I wanted a partner, but I'm not getting a partner. In other words, a female partner, you know, whether that's a relationship or dating or whatever the case is, like I was yearning for that. And she goes, well, you have to date a triathlete or meet triathletes. That was her reply. So yesterday, what happened was I started really understanding when I had opportunities for Love 2.0. When I had opportunities to connect with someone, I would seek it out. I wouldn't have these things in, these AirPods in. This is only for cold calling, so I don't use my phone. I wouldn't have that in and just walk around in just, I've referred to it many times as the Dur state. So I always thought that I needed to push myself. And I've said it on videos. I said I needed a challenge. So that's why I did triathlon training. You know what it was? I was doing it. I was doing the right thing earlier this year. I was doing the training and I still felt empty. So I said, it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. It's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. You can make 100 calls. You did the what, but how are you making those calls? You went to work. That's the what. What did I do today? I went to work. But how did you go to work? How did you show up? How are you in that interaction? How are you on that phone call? How are you with your kids? How are you actually moving your life along? That's the growth. That's the growth mindset. That is everything. That is literally everything. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So this morning, because this is what happened. I left work yesterday and I was on such a high because I talked with that guy instead of micro-avoiding the conversation. I talked with someone else instead of micro-avoiding the conversation. She got a coffee and I said, oh, where is that place? And she goes, oh, it's around the corner. It just opened up and we started discussing it. And she's like, yeah, it's really good. I'm like, oh, do they have cold brew? I like cold brew every once in a while. She goes, yeah, it's really good. It's not burnt. It's better than Whole Foods. It wasn't just, oh, where's that from? And then you actually interact present. How to get there are two things. Number one is sleep has just been so crucial in my life. I have prioritized sleep. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't care what a client says. Don't do business with me. I need my 8 hours of sleep. I need it. I reverse engineer. I have to wake up at 4:30. I'm going to bed at 8:30. I'm waking up at 5. I'm going to bed at 9. But I'm not in bed at 9. I'm in bed by 8:30 because it takes a little bit. So I'm in bed at 8:30 reading. That puts me to sleep. I'm reading Tom Brady's book. It's about pliability, and it's an incredible book. Absolutely. It's been sitting on my coffee table for almost a year, and I was like, I'm not going to read this. It's probably him just, talking hogwash. It's an incredible book. So I had an amazing thing yesterday. So this is the thing, is that reverse engineering what worked, what didn't work. So I have something that is a Google form that I fill out every single day. You could either journal, you can handwrite, whatever. And on there, it's on my screen right now, it's what's the day, what could happen, what needs work, intention of the day. And the intention of the day is carefree and fun. Carefree and fun for almost 2 weeks. Needs work was Love 2.0. Excuse me. So for a while, I've been thinking about this, and then I started implementing it. And I left work yesterday. I was on a high. I just felt good. I had an incredible amount of energy. I did my deep work. And then I came into today, and I was, usually when I leave the gym, I'm kind of on like a, oh, okay, dragging my ass kind of thing. Had a Love 2.0 with someone that was in the locker room. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's the name of the book. And the guy also runs triathlons. Someone else pitched in, and we also started talking, and it was about a 15-minute conversation. And he's like, "Listen, I got this place up in Connecticut. You know, if you get to know me, we can bike up there and then go swimming for a mile and a half." And I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome. Are you kidding me? That's awesome." So I got to tell you, what I was doing was the exact same thing for 2.5 months, which was training, but how was I doing it? I was just showing up and doing it. For the last 10 years, I was reading and I was implementing 1% every single day. But how was I showing up? How was I making the calls? I implore you to look at the areas of your life that are boring, that are monotonous, that you just don't want to do. It could be the gym. How do I make the gym more fun? How do I improve the experience around it? Sometimes, yes, running or I have a bike thing for 4 hours this weekend. I have to ride for 4 hours and then I have to run for half an hour. On Sunday, I'm waking up at 4 again, okay? And I'm gonna have to do that for, I think, an hour and a half bike and an hour bike and an hour 40-minute run, okay? So it's really, how am I gonna show up in there? Prioritize sleep. And the other thing I was going to say is get off your cell phone. My mind is so clear. And the reason being is that people that look at their screens, that wake up with their screens, TV, iPad, cell phone, whatever the case is, it drains your mind. You have no mental energy. It's not your physical energy. You have no mental energy. All right? So I hope this helps. It's how you're showing up. That was such a big breakthrough that I can't even put a pulse on it, because it has changed how I show up. It has changed my mood, my emotions. It has changed how I think about everything. How do I show up to my prospecting calls, which is going to happen in about 30 minutes? How am I going to show up? So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comments below. As always, and obviously if you guys have any topics,